to you, Sue.
Right.
Me and my mom, you know, I was the oldest when it all started. You know, me and my mom really didn't get along too well. She always kind of like, you know, she played like the referee. You know, she'd get up. It's crazy, you know. At first, you know, it was like, you know, why you do all this? You know, it's just because she loved people. And she loved family.
She loved us.
You know, anytime, you know, I could always ask her, and she would always, you know.
She would tell you the truth, whether that's what you wanted to hear or not.
Right. Yeah. You know, she would figure out some kind of plan for me.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't tell my mom the plan until I
Didn't need to.
That was a plan. She always, you know, that was in the younger days, you know, because it's been a long time, you know, it's been like 35 something years, and but in the end, you know, Megan had graduated and met Reuben, and I worked here in Houston and Baytown, with, you know, on the ship channel and in the refineries, and we come up with a plan, you know, to talk her in, and, you know, she fixed to retire to get them to move down here, man. And I was calling Megan, I said, man, you got to help me on this. Because you're the key, okay? And we got to get this, okay? And you know, Granny had died, everybody already passed away in Abilene, and there really wasn't no reason for them to be left there. And so, you know, out of all of that, then it was a miracle that they actually, you know, they come here, and we just had so many good times here at the end. And you know, I know one thing I will tell you, Sue's favorite food was catfish. She loved catfish, okay? And, she would make me cook her catfish all the time. And I love her, and I'm gonna miss her. And she was the second mom to me. I love her, and I'm gonna miss her. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't get up and talk, okay? I love her, and I can't talk. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'm Melody, and I first met Megan's family, Sue and Dee, in Abilene, Texas. We lived on Bickley Street, and Granny lived maybe 3 or 4 houses down. And when Megan was born, she was very easy to fall in love with. She was really cute. And she was really So that's our connection, original connection with them. And we've just been very blessed to get to be their friends during the years and be a part of that Forever Friend family, and we are so grateful. I had planned to just do this on the fly, but Megan asked us last night, so are you like writing something down, or are you going to do it off the fly? And I thought, I'm writing something down. So let me get to it, and that's what I will do. So, as I was thinking about Sue a lot over the last couple of weeks, we live in Washington State now, but as I was thinking of her a lot over the time, and last night I was just woke up in the night, and I like to do like little quirky things to help me remember stuff. And so I thought of this, and Sue. Hang on. Sue, here I go. Sue was sincere. She was genuinely caring in people and even pets, because she posted pictures of pets on Facebook. And living far away, that was just a beautiful connector to see all the wonderful things she did. And in that, it was just so admirable of her. You know how when you live around people, sometimes you enjoy the moments, but we forget to take pictures sometimes. Mm-hmm. And she was so good about that. And I just thought that was a beautiful thing. So, S, sincere, U, understanding. The first thing that came to my mind was Dee had said, you know, how she was a list maker, and she and Dee shopped early for Christmas this year. And I just, sometimes you just see the timing of things, how this thing happened before. And I got her then a little kitchen towel, and she got us kitchen towels. She just had a very spirit of connection. That was a beautiful thing. She knew how important it was to seize the moment and be helpful. And finally, E, she was encouraging. She was one of those people that just did have the good word to say, and it didn't have to be long. It was just helpful. And I see so much of that in Megan too, and that's such a beautiful thing. I will miss her little giggle. She was a grown woman, but she had the cutest giggle, and just kind of the way she kind of turned. It was so sweet. I really miss her. I like the Bible, and this is one thing that I think of her. Ephesians 4:32 says to be kind to one another and tender-hearted and forgiving. And I think we've all heard so much about her. This is a quote that I read that really helped me. And it says, death takes the body, God takes the soul, our mind holds the memories, our heart keeps the love, and our faith lets us know that we will meet again. So, till we meet her again, we love you, Sue. Oh, I'm gonna hug again. That's only proper. Okay. Okay.
All right, so Megan and I just want to thank, and Dee, we want to thank everyone for coming over and celebrating the life of Miss Sue. You know, we found this house a little over 2 years ago, and Megan and I had envisioned her parents, you know, living with us, and I'm so glad we were able to make it work. We were able to see Miss Sue just be a great grandparent to our kids. One thing that I'm gonna miss the most is, it's a little silly, but anytime she would go to Baytown with Dee, I would go in to make sure that all of the lights were turned off. And she had these Chewy Chips Ahoy cookies, and I would always steal like 2 or 3 while I was... Oh! And Amelia just ate the last 2 cookies. So. There goes the cookies. All right, so there's never any way that Megan and I can thank Miss Sue and Dee for everything that they did for us in the first 2 years of having 2 newborns. They just did so much for us, and I don't know how we would have made it without them. Up until August, they took care of Jeremy and Amelia full-time, mostly because, as Megan mentioned, Jeremy had some lung issues, and so he couldn't go to daycare. So we're happy to report that his lungs are healthy. His doctors feel that. Woo! Right.
Yay, Jeremy!
And a huge part of that is because of Dee and Miss Sue, and keeping him healthy for the last 2 years. Since August, she had been picking up Zoe from school, and I know Zoe really enjoyed that. On the car ride home the other day, she mentioned that she's really gonna miss her going to the park with her, going to the aquarium, her hugs and her kisses, and going into the cottage and visiting her. She would probably wake up. She wakes us up at around 5 o'clock, and then she would go over. We would make her wait at least until 7 before bugging Miss Sue. And then the last thing is, over the last couple of months, Amelia really became Miss Sue's favorite in the house. She would always follow her around. She was her little shadow, and she would just walk around behind her saying, "Granny," or "Guinea, hold you, Guinea." And so I know all the babies are really gonna miss her. So again, I just want to thank Dee and Miss Sue for everything that y'all have done for us. We love Miss Sue. We're gonna miss her, and thank you all for coming to our house and celebrating her life with her. Thank you.
Do you want to change anything?
No, it's fine. I was just gonna say, Bob's gonna say one more thing, and then, like I said, just thanks. Feel free to, if you need to go. If you want to stay and hang out. There's lots of drinks. There's still food. There's tons of cake, and just thank y'all so much.
So, this won't take a long time. I know you've been standing a long time, and everybody gets tired of that. But thank you for being here and being patient. One of the things as a pastor over the years I've noticed is just how special memorial services, life celebration services are for the group. It's a unique gathering, people that have never met before, people that know a person central in their lives. It's often this moment that really coalesces and you see something, the power of a life that you didn't see before. I think it's very valuable times, and I'm glad that we're all connected the way we are to this day today, to Sue, to Megan. The idea of mysteries, God's work, God's will, how life is orchestrated, to me it's just a really amazing kind of mystery. And it seems like things are random and things just sort of happen and you just sort of make decisions. Like the house on Bickley, I don't think Laura told us about that. I think we just looked for a house, we found this little house, we bought this little house. It turns out that Granny lived just 4 houses down from us, and she went to
3141 Bickley.
She went to the church that we were pastoring then, the first little church. It was just a few people. It was very small. It was my beginning, and I was young and dumb, and still am dumb. And along with that came Dee because of her mom. And not that it wasn't really the church connector, it was Granny the connector.
Yeah.
Right?
Danny was the connector.
And of all that work and all that time doing that role, who am I connected to now?
Everybody.
It's not the church, it's them. It's the people that make an impact in your life. And so I wanted to think about the whole idea of adoption. Romans 8:15 says, "For we've not received again the bondage to the spirit of fear, but to adoption, so that we cry, Abba, Father." I'm here because Sue kept looking for life, all right? She overcame her own hang-ups to become a really great professional nurse. She got her life foundations back, and in a sense, grew up. And she found partnership and companionship and love in Dee, and then had Megan. Sue, along with Dee, was obviously a great mom, as Megan said, to many others, not just her. And the world needs people with open hearts to be able to include others, make them feel that they belong. I'm here because Sue was able to include others. Megan wanted a daddy in her life. Sue could have been jealous about that. She could have resisted. She could have very healthily taught. It would have been a healthy message too, to just teach that that's not the way their life was going to be, right? It's not the way it was. But she did not take that approach. She let Megan ask me to fill that role. Now, part of that was both our sons are adopted, and Megan was just a little older than our youngest, or our first one, and she saw us do all that. So I think we kind of introduced you to the idea of adoption. And so it just made complete sense that if we can adopt kids, why can't she adopt a dad? And so she talked to her mom, and they thought about it a while. I think Sue waited a while to see how serious, and then let her come over, and and it's like, what do you say to that? Honestly, it scared me. Could I be enough? Could I, if we move, how would that work? And we have had to move a few times, and we haven't been physically close a lot of the time. And yet, Megan kept me as Daddy Bob all those years, and still includes me that way. That inclusion, that belonging is just deep in my heart, and I appreciate it so much. We have friends from all the places we've lived, and we keep in touch with others. I'm telling you, what's here right now is different. This is as much family as any family I've known or have. And
We love you too, man. Bob,
I mean, it's been,
we love you.
28 years or something, 30 years, and barely knew you, but it's just a connector. So a lot of that has to do with Megan, and I'm not sure what that is. Sue was, Granny Sue, Dee, but something came with Megan that connects people. She doesn't let go of anybody. She wants everybody around. She's still building her circle. I don't know how big that circle's going to get, Megan, but
huge.
Would you say thank you?
Yes. I'm in that circle.
You start a second step with our circle,
My wife said, don't get heavy, don't get serious. And when I say this next word, it's going to sound heavy and serious. I want you to be patient with me and work through it with me, okay? It's still from the same chapter, Romans 8, but it's the first verse. It says, therefore there is now no condemnation. Okay? There's more to the verse, but that phrase itself is so important in life and in death. That we understand God's not in the condemnation business. One of the reasons why He sent His Son to die on the cross for all of our sins and resurrect from the grave and live forever and give us that opportunity is because God was getting out of the condemnation business. He's in the life and hope business, even at the point of death. Life and hope is what we represent here today. He changed the meaning of death, and we're not just condemned to die. We have life everlasting. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful story. The word condemned is a negative and ominous word. And Sue had in parts of her life history the experience of feeling condemned. Life gets hard and relationships cause suffering, and we may feel condemned to have poor relationships or to be alone, or that death is a condemnation. We may feel condemned by our own mistakes, or we may feel condemned by others, people who judge us as unworthy. And we can state it, a lot of our regular vernacular is just chances, right? How many chances will others give us? How many chances do we deserve? How many chances did God give us? And what's the end of chances? Is to give up. It's hopelessness. People give up on others when they feel that they've given them all the chances they can. And people give up on themselves when they don't feel like they deserve another chance. And God gives up on us. Wait a minute. He does not give up. He never gives up. God worked through everything that condemns so that He can send us this message. Therefore, there is no condemnation. Death even is a transformation. It's a victory, not a defeat. To me, Sue appears to have finished strong. She struggled for a long time, but in the years I've known her, she built that legacy that Megan mentioned. Planting seeds in a garden you'll never see. She had her daughter. She retired. She spent massive quality time with her grandchildren. She has numerous people whom she's touched with a mom's touch who need it. I never thought of Sue as a mom relationship with me, and we weren't even all that close necessarily. It was always wonderful to be around her, but it's not like we've talked a lot, or really connected a lot
I did.
over the years. Other than I went for a walk,
My second mom.
as I do a lot of times. I'm getting ready for a thing like this. I kind of get, and I'm kind of like, what's the connection? What should I be thinking about as I think about talking at a memorial service? And the mom word was there. It was just there. And I haven't read what Megan wrote yet. And I started thinking, hey, that feeling of she met my mom. She never had. My mom died 22 years ago. And I just felt like, hey, they've gotten acquainted, And just the thing is, the mom to all these people, the extended circle of Megan's friends that she was a mom to. And she just touched a lot of people with that mom's touch who needed it. There's another Bible verse that says, those who have been forgiven much, love much. Sue overcame a lot, and in that she learned to love, not harbor bitterness. And that's what's great when you meet people who don't give up on each other. As we're called to be Christ to each other, one word to live is to grant grace, chances to others. It's a key word in defining love. Honestly, it can't be explained, but it's a really nice mystery. And I know we're all here because of that connection, that mysterious spiritual thing that just isn't an accident. It's humanity. It's the positive flow of what's been established, and it's great if we can find the people and find the connectors to help us get all together in that flow. Today is an opportunity to honor Sue and celebrate how we all belong here through her life, and to be reminded of our continued chances to love each other, to reconcile relationships, to live with love and hope, not condemnation, to adopt each other and to experience the best we can a sense that we are adopted into heaven. There's a song that we used to sing in our church. It's called I'm Loved, You Are Loved, I Can Risk Loving You. We are free to love each other. We are loved. It feels risky at times to be so open, but after you've been through the trials of life, you learn nothing else really matters. And I feel like Sue took a chance letting me into her life through Megan and have an important image in Megan's mind. And there's a giant trust placed in me. And I think when I say that, you know what it is to have Sue's trust in you and her words of advice. I wouldn't have said this when I lived in Abilene, Dee, but I said to Melody that day on the way here. I said, you know what? I said, I think Dee and Sue have developed such a wisdom over the years that I could rely on them. That when they speak, there's wisdom there, And it's through this. My grandpa was a lettering artist. He literally made diplomas that were from the School of Hard Knocks, and he gave them to people as gifts. And you could put it up on the wall. It looked like you really had a college diploma on the wall. But if you'd been in the School of Hard Knocks, you'd get a diploma for that. Graduating. And Sue, magna cum laude. Would you join me in a word of thought and prayer? God, we're just so grateful for love. That anything we've ever harbored as a resistance or an obstacle to one another about lifestyles or choices, we just understand in sort of a deep way, maybe without words, just it all folds into your love and your hope for us to get along. And we pray, Father, today that we can reflect on this moment and know that you give us and everyone else around us another chance every day with every breath and even after our breath. You still give us a chance. Thank you. All right. Thank you for your patience. Anything else, Megan?
Turn back your car. Yeah.